night of Last Remaining Seats, we strive to make it special, and tonight is no exception. We've got some great guests in store, including a surprise, but we're going to start with a man who is going to tell us about a very special curtain that, as far as we know, has never been displayed to the public before tonight. Please welcome the corporate archivist for Warner Brothers, Leith Adams.
Thank you. My name is Leith Adams, and I'm corporate archivist for Warner Brothers. Tonight, we all are going to be able to see, possibly for the first time since 1927, a Hollywood artifact and one of our newest additions to the archive. Along about 1978, I was given a tour of Warner Brothers, and it was a real visit behind the scenes into all the nooks and crannies of the place, most especially the property building, which was built in 1937. Floors and floors of tables and chairs and lamps and telephones and on and on and on, all used in films famous and not so famous. But on the second floor was a door that opened into the drapery department. And when you went through that door, it was almost as if you had gone back in time, because it looked like what the department looked like in 1937. Big high windows to give the seamsters and seamstresses light to operate their sewing machines. Big long tables on which the curtains or drapes could be laid out lengthwise. And up some stairs was a big room where all the stock was shelved. Fabrics used on other films, stacked on open shelves. A wide range of colors, a wide range of materials. And down one of the aisles, in almost a hushed tone, I was told, that holds the curtain used in The Jazz Singer. Really? A solemn nod, yes. So every once in a while, I'd come back to the studio. I actually worked at USC, and would walk around showing other people the lot and walk through that door and be back in 1937. Everyone had the same feeling. They were in a working room that looked like it had way back when. And one time I actually walked down the aisle, and right on top of the hamper was a note, The Jazz Singer. So in 1992, when I came to work at the studio, I knew where the Jazz Singer curtain was. But in being the archivist, you sometimes walk a fine line, where you don't want to walk into people's offices and say, I'll take that, and I'll take that, and I'll take that. Especially when you know you're not going to display it immediately. And so for all those years, the Jazz Singer curtain has remained in the studio's drapery department. Last year, backstage at the Los Angeles Theater, waiting to introduce Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train, I met Steve Markham, and he told me about his collection. Some people collect baseball cards, some people collect Cabbage Patch dolls, or used to. But Steve collects theater curtains. And that year he was going to be showing 4 or 5 of his curtains before a Last Remaining Seats screening, and then talk a little bit about each one of them. I mentioned we had the curtain from The Jazz Singer, and Steve asked immediately if it could be shown at Last Remaining Seats. It took a year, but after verifying that it actually is the curtain Al Jolson sings his heart out in front of, and after verifying that it was in good enough condition to be hung, it is here tonight for all of us to see. And thanks to Mike Imhoff of the Warner Brothers Drapery Department, it is now part of the corporate archive. So without further ado, thank you. So without further ado, as Carl Denham would have said, the 8th wonder of the world. The curtain from the 1927 first talking picture, The Jazz Singer, starring Al Jolson.